Okay, so this is take two of this video. The first take, apparently, I had my son in the back seat and you all could see him. I like to keep things private, so I have to redo this video. So let me explain what just happened with Chinese stocks. Alibaba, Tencent up 25%. Chinese government basically came out today and said, hey, we're gonna behave. We're sorry we cheated on you, but we're gonna be faithful from here on. Trust us. We're gonna behave. We got you back. Now, I don't know if you ever had a cheating spouse, but it's very hard to rebuild the trust after something like this. And I don't know if I would have, put my money based on a promise by somebody who lied and cheated before, which is the Chinese government. Now, let's talk numbers here. Basically, what's going on right now, you have a lot of money on the sidelines. People are anxious. There's so much waiting. It's like a cocked gun. They're just waiting to release. They just need a little bit of good news to blow their load. And the Chinese government played that to perfection. I think they knew about that. They knew about all the money parked on the sideline. They came out with a statement that basically says nothing. All it says is, hey, we're not going to be actively trying to get Chinese companies delisted from US stock exchanges. In fact, we're going to try and help as much as we can, whatever that means. The other thing they said is, and you know what? We're almost done with our own internal purge of the tech companies in China. We're almost done. We're going to be done real soon. So the audacity, they didn't even say we're done. They're saying we're going to be done soon, which means there's more damage to be had. And basically that was enough to send people basically buying Chinese stocks. Now, look, you might make a lot of money on this swing. Who knows? Some people might make obscene amounts of money on this swing. But here's some actual factuals. Here's some undisputable facts. Beyond the fact that China really didn't say nothing, beyond the fact that I wouldn't trust their word that they're going to behave to invest my money, beyond all that, let's just speak facts, factuals. So, did this statement by the Chinese government change in any way, shape, or form the things that we were concerned about as far as China goes? Because we were concerned about the VIE structure, which I'm going to talk about in a second. We were concerned about the lack of rule of law in China. And we were concerned about the way the accounting is being audited in China. Basically, three things. Number one, VIE structure. By law, mother lover. By law, China prohibits you as a foreign national to own Chinese stock. Just so you know. So by law, China says you're not good enough to hold our stock. So that's why any foreigners that invest, foreigners I mean non-Chinese, that invest in Chinese companies, they do it through a VIE structure, basically buying contractual rights in Chinese companies through some offshore shell companies in the Cayman Islands. Now, that hasn't changed. So you're still buying contractual rights. I wouldn't pay for a contractual right the same thing for property rights. They're completely different in nature and in risk. The other part is the China reform. It's a legal system. Do they have now rule of law? And the government is less communist and less centralistic? Obviously, no. And mainly, look, do you trust the numbers coming out of the Chinese companies as far as the financials, as far as the accounting? I mean, the numbers are just as good as, Luckin Coffee, Evergrande. I mean, there's a reason why Chinese companies are actively trying to avoid getting audited by US standards. That's the whole reason they're talking about delisting them. Now, I don't trust their numbers until further notice. And until they're going to come out and say, hey, no more VIE structure, you can invest in Chinese companies. And until they're going to say, hey, we're going to subject ourselves to US auditing standards on our accounting. And until they're going to reform their system so no more billionaires get kidnapped and no more companies get canceled on the whim of a bureaucrat. It's not good enough for me, but hey, you do you. Might be just the ramblings of a madman. What do I know? Just my opinion. Might be wrong, might be completely inaccurate. If you like Alibaba and Tencent, go crazy. But as a long-term investment, the Chinese government statement means nothing. For swing traders, this is paradise. But for long-term investors, meaningless. It's a head fake, my guy. Be careful.